They underestimated you, didn't they? They thought you were ordinary, just another face in the crowd. But now they see, you're the one in a million chosen to bring justice, chosen ones. Today, we're diving deep into the signs that prove you weren't just picked at random. You were chosen with a purpose. You've been called to bring justice, light, and transformation to the world. You are stepping into your divine calling. If you feel this shift in your spirit, comment 77 and let the world know. You're ready to step into your destiny. Let's dive in. The first sign is shifting from wanting to having. For so long, you've carried desires in your heart, whispered prayers into the silence, and held onto dreams that felt just out of reach. It often felt like no matter how hard you tried, your efforts came up short. Those moments of longing were filled with questions. Why isn't it happening for me? What am I doing wrong? But now something has shifted. The distance between you and the life you envisioned is closing. The things you once hoped for are no longer dreams. They're becoming your reality. If this resonates with you, comment manifesting below. This shift is not random. It's not luck. It's alignment. You are no longer chasing after blessings as if they are out of your grasp. Instead, you are aligning yourself with them. This is what happens when your heart, your actions, and your faith come into harmony with God's purpose for your life. Psalm 37 verse 4 declares, "Delight thyself also in the Lord, and he shall give thee the desires of thine heart." This verse holds the key to the transformation you are experiencing. By placing your delight, your focus, and your trust in God, you have positioned yourself to receive what he has already prepared for you. For years, it might have felt like you were working in the dark. You planted seeds with no immediate sign of growth. You put in effort, hoping it would one day bear fruit, but the waiting was excruciating. Perhaps you even doubted whether your dreams were possible. But what you didn't realize is that every moment of waiting was part of the preparation. Your faith was being stretched, your patience was being refined, and most importantly, your character was being shaped to handle the blessings that were on the way. Now, as you step into the season, you can feel the difference. The energy around you has shifted. What once felt like an uphill battle now feels like a steady flow. Opportunities that seemed impossible are coming together effortlessly. Connections that eluded you are suddenly within reach. Doors you never thought would open are now inviting you to walk through them. This isn't just about material success. It's about stepping into the fullness of who you are and what you're meant to do. Consider the story of Abraham and Sarah. They waited years for the promise of a child, facing doubt, delay, and moments of disbelief. But when the time was right, when they were aligned with God's plan, their promise came to fruition. Genesis 21 verse 1 says, "And the Lord visited Sarah as he had said, and the Lord did unto Sarah as he had spoken." What seemed impossible became reality, not because of their efforts alone, but because God's timing was perfect. In the same way, your dreams are manifesting now because they are aligned with God's divine timing and purpose. This shift from wanting to having also represents a change in your mindset. You're no longer operating from a place of lack or desperation. You've stopped thinking of your dreams as something distant and unattainable. Instead, you've begun to see them as already yours. This is the power of faith. Hebrews 11 verse 1 defines faith as the substance of things hoped for, the evidence of things not seen. By believing in the unseen and trusting in God's promises, you've activated a spiritual principle that accelerates manifestation. They doubted you, didn't they? The people who dismissed your dreams, who couldn't see the vision God placed in your heart, are now witnessing your transformation. They didn't understand the process you were going through, the quiet moments of prayer, the sacrifices, or the faith it took to keep going. But now, as your life begins to align with your purpose, they can't deny the evidence of what's happening. Your success is not just a result of your work, it's a reflection of God's favor. This shift isn't without its challenges. As you transition into a season of having, you may face moments of disbelief. Is this really happening? Do I deserve this? These thoughts can creep in, but remember, God's blessings are not about deserving. They are about His grace. Ephesians 2 verse 8 reminds us, "For by grace are ye saved through faith, and that not of yourselves, it is the gift of God. Your role is not to question whether you're worthy but to embrace what has been freely given to you through His love and favor. This season is also a call to action. As your blessings manifest, it's important to steward them wisely. This isn't the time to shrink back in fear or doubt. It's the time to step boldly into your purpose, knowing that what you have received is meant to be shared. Your success is not just for you. It's a tool for impact, a platform to inspire others, and a testament to God's faithfulness. By living in alignment with your purpose, you become a beacon of hope, showing others what is possible when they trust in God's plan. If this resonates with you, comment manifesting below. Let it be a declaration of the shift you're experiencing and a reminder of the power of faith and alignment. You're not just dreaming anymore, you're stepping into the reality of those dreams. This is the beginning of a new chapter, one where you walk confidently in the promises of God. As we move to the next sign, we'll explore how your unique calling sets you apart and positions you to make a lasting impact. Stay with me because the journey is just beginning, and the best is yet to come. The second sign is that you possess a unique calling. You've always felt it, haven't you? That pull, that nudge in your spirit, reminding you that you were meant for something more. While others seemed content to blend in, to follow the crowd and take the path of least resistance, you couldn't ignore the feeling that you were different. It wasn't arrogance or pride. It was a quiet knowing, an unshakable awareness that your life was set apart for a purpose greater than yourself. This isn't just a coincidence or a fleeting feeling. It's divine truth. If this resonates with you, comment called below. Jeremiah 1 verse 5 declares, "Before I formed thee in the belly I knew thee, and before thou camest forth out of the womb I sanctified thee, and I ordained thee a prophet unto the nations." This verse is more than words on a page. It's a confirmation that your journey was designed long before you took your first breath. You were chosen not by chance, but with intention. Your calling is not ordinary. It's rare, distinct, and perfectly suited to the gifts and experiences God has placed within you. You were created to address injustices, to bring light to dark places, and to ignite transformation in the lives of those around you. This calling hasn't come without its challenges. In fact, being chosen often means walking a path that others don't understand. You may have faced rejection, judgment, or even isolation because of your refusal to conform. You've likely been labeled as different, and at times it may have felt like a burden. But what others saw as strange or unrelatable was actually your strength. You weren't made to fit into the mold of the world. You were made to break it. You weren't called to follow the status quo. You were called to redefine it. Think about the moments in your life when you felt out of place. Maybe it was in school, at work, or even in your social circles. While others seemed at ease, you felt restless, as though something inside you was yearning for more. That restlessness wasn't a sign of failure or inadequacy. It was your spirit recognizing that you were meant for a higher calling. It was a reminder that you were not made to settle for mediocrity, but to step into greatness. The challenges you faced along the way have been part of your preparation. Every obstacle, every setback, and every hardship was refining you, equipping you for the purpose you've been called to fulfill. Like Joseph, who was betrayed by his brothers, sold into slavery, and thrown into prison, you've endured seasons that felt unfair and unexplainable. But just as God elevated Joseph to a position of influence and authority, He is preparing to elevate you. Genesis 50 verse 20 reminds us, "But as for you, ye thought evil against me, but God meant it unto good." The very trials that seemed designed to break you have become the foundation for your purpose. Your gifts, too, are evidence of your unique calling. Whether it's your ability to lead, create, speak, or serve, these talents are not accidental. They are tools specifically designed to help you fulfill your mission. You may have noticed that your gifts often stand out in ways that draw attention or admiration, and this isn't by chance. God has equipped you with everything you need to succeed in your calling. 1 Peter 4 verse 10 encourages us, "As every man hath received the gift, even so minister the same one to another, as good stewards of the manifold grace of God." Your gifts are not just for you. They are meant to bless, uplift, and transform the lives of others. But with great calling comes great responsibility. You've likely noticed that your journey requires more sacrifice than most. While others take shortcuts, you've had to endure the long road. While others settle, you've been called to stretch. This is because your impact is meant to be greater. Your calling requires a depth of character, resilience, and faith that can only be developed through perseverance. It's not an easy road, but it's a meaningful one. The world may not always understand your journey, but they can't deny your impact. People who once dismissed you or underestimated you will begin to see the ripple effects of your purpose. Your ability to bring justice, create change, and inspire others will speak louder than any words. They may not acknowledge it outright, but deep down, they'll know that you were called for something extraordinary. This unique calling also comes with divine support. God hasn't left you to figure this out on your own. He is guiding your steps, opening doors, and aligning opportunities that align with your purpose. Proverbs 16 verse 9 reminds us, "A man's heart deviseth his way, but the Lord directeth his steps." Even in moments of uncertainty, you can trust that God is leading you exactly where you need to be. His timing is perfect, and His plans for you are good. If this resonates with you, comment called below. Let it be a declaration of your purpose and a reminder that you are not walking this journey alone. You are chosen, set apart, and equipped for a mission that only you can fulfill. Your life is not a random series of events. It's a masterpiece in the making, a testament to God's intentionality and love. 2 signs down, and it's becoming clear. You are not just walking a path, you're fulfilling a purpose. But the next signs reveal how your challenges and delays are not setbacks, but part of a greater divine plan. Activate notifications to support this channel and stay connected to powerful messages like this. The 3rd sign is that adversity strengthens your mission. Every challenge you faced, every betrayal that shook your trust, every setback that made you question your path, they were not designed to destroy you. They were strategically allowed to build you, to refine your character, and to prepare you for the extraordinary calling on your life. While it may have felt like chaos at the time, those trials were the forge that shaped the warrior within you. They didn't break you, they built you. If this resonates with you, comment resilient below. James 1 verse 3 reminds us, knowing this, that the trying of your faith worketh patience. Those words carry a profound truth that you have now come to understand through experience. Every fiery trial you endured was refining your faith, teaching you resilience, and instilling in you the patience to endure the journey ahead. Adversity doesn't just test you, it transforms you. It pushes you to grow, forces you to lean on God in ways you never have before, and uncovers strengths you didn't know you possessed. Consider the times you were betrayed by someone you trusted. Hurt deeply, didn't it? But looking back, you can see how those moments revealed truths you needed to know. They taught you discernment, sharpened your intuition, and strengthened your ability to set boundaries. Or think about the setbacks you faced. Opportunities lost, plans that fell apart, or goals that seemed to slip through your fingers. At the time, it felt like failure. But now, you see how those setbacks redirected you to something greater, something more aligned with your purpose. Adversity has a way of stripping away what doesn't serve you, leaving only what's essential. It's like refining gold in the fire. Everything impure is burned away, and what remains is stronger, purer, and more valuable. Your trials have done the same for you. They've burned away self-doubt, fear, and dependence on things or people that weren't meant to sustain you. What's left is a version of you that is stronger, wiser, and more unshakable than ever before. Think about David before he faced Goliath. He wasn't a warrior by training, he was a shepherd. But in the fields, he faced lions and bears that tried to attack his flock. Those experiences, though terrifying and painful, prepared him for the battle that would define his destiny. When he stepped onto the battlefield to face Goliath, he carried with him the lessons, confidence, and strength forged in those earlier challenges. Likewise, every battle you've faced has been preparation for the greater mission God has for you. You didn't come this far to give up now. Your ability to rise above adversity is what sets you apart. While others may crumble under pressure, you find a way to persevere. It's not because you're immune to pain or struggle. It's because your mission is too important to be derailed by temporary setbacks. You've come to understand that adversity isn't a punishment. It's a platform. It's the training ground where leaders are made. Your ability to endure challenges with grace and strength is proof that you were built for this calling. There's a reason they doubted you. They saw the adversity you faced and assumed it would break you. They underestimated the power of resilience, the kind that comes from walking hand in hand with God. Isaiah 40 verse 31 promises, "But they that wait upon the Lord shall renew their strength. They shall mount up with wings as eagles. They shall run and not be weary, and they shall walk and not faint." This is the source of your strength, the ability to rise, not in your own power, but in the strength that comes from above. Adversity doesn't just build character, it deepens your faith. In the darkest moments, when it felt like you had nothing left, you turned to God. Those moments of surrender became the foundation of your strength. You learned to trust Him not just when things were going well, but when everything seemed to be falling apart. That kind of faith, the faith that persists in the face of adversity, is unshakable. It's the kind of faith that moves mountains, opens doors, and breaks chains. Your journey through adversity has also given you empathy. Because you've faced challenges, you understand the struggles of others in a way that only someone who's been there can. This empathy is a gift, one that allows you to connect with people on a deeper level. It allows you to lead with compassion, to inspire others with your story, and to remind them that they, too, can overcome. What the enemy meant for harm, God has used for good, not just in your life, but in the lives of those you're called to impact. If this resonates with you, comment "resilient" below. Let it be a declaration of the strength you've gained and a reminder of the purpose that fuels you. They thought the adversity would break you, but instead, it's made you unstoppable. Your mission is stronger because of what you've been through, not in spite of it. As you move forward, hold on to this truth. Every challenge you faced was preparing you for the moment you're stepping into now. The trials weren't distractions. They were building blocks. In the next sign, we'll explore how divine timing has aligned your path, ensuring that every step you take is perfectly orchestrated. The fourth sign is divine timing aligning your path. Think about the delays you've experienced, the seasons of waiting that seemed to stretch endlessly. Those moments when you felt like life had come to a standstill and everything you were striving for seemed out of reach. At the time, it may have felt like failure, rejection, or even punishment. But now, as you reflect, you begin to see the truth. Those delays weren't detours. They were God's way of ensuring that everything would come together in His perfect timing. Type "aligned" if this resonates with you. Ecclesiastes 3 verse 1 reminds us, "To everything there is a season, and a time to every purpose under the heaven." This verse is a profound reminder that your life is not random or accidental. Every delay, every closed door, every unexpected turn was part of a divine schedule meticulously crafted by God. He wasn't withholding blessings from you. He was preparing you to receive them. He was ensuring that when the opportunities arrived, you would not only be ready to embrace them, but also have the capacity to steward them well. In the midst of waiting, it's hard to see the bigger picture. You may have asked yourself, why now? Why this? Why me? But divine timing often becomes clear only in hindsight. Consider the story of Joseph in the Bible. His journey was riddled with delays. Betrayed by his brothers, sold into slavery, falsely accused, and imprisoned. At any point, he could have felt abandoned or forgotten. Yet, through each delay, God was aligning circumstances to elevate Joseph to a position of influence and purpose. When Joseph finally stood before Pharaoh, it wasn't just about interpreting dreams. It was about stepping into the destiny God had been preparing him for all along. Genesis 50 verse 20 captures this beautifully. "But as for you, ye thought evil against me, but God meant it unto good, to bring to pass, as it is this day, to save much people alive." Your story is no different. The moments that felt like setbacks were actually setups. The times when it seemed like everyone else was moving forward while you were stuck in place were opportunities for God to prepare you in ways you couldn't see. Divine timing isn't just about external circumstances aligning. It's also about internal growth. God uses those waiting periods to strengthen your character, deepen your faith, and refine your vision. What you've gained in those seasons of waiting, patience, resilience, wisdom, are gifts that will sustain you in the blessings that are now unfolding. Think about the opportunities that are opening up for you now. The connections being made, the resources coming together, the dreams finally taking shape. These aren't coincidences. They're confirmations that you are stepping into the season God has prepared for you. You may notice that things are happening effortlessly, almost as if the universe itself is conspiring in your favor. That's because divine timing brings alignment. It's not about striving or forcing things to happen. It's about flowing in the rhythm of God's plan for your life. This alignment also means that the opportunities you're stepping into are not just good, they're right. They're tailor-made for you, designed to match your gifts, your growth, and your purpose. Have you ever been in a situation where something looked good on the surface but didn't feel right in your spirit? That's because not everything that glitters is gold, and not every opportunity is from God. Divine timing ensures that the doors opening for you now are the ones that will lead to lasting fulfillment, impact, and growth. People may have tried to rush you in the past, pushing you to move faster than you were ready. Or perhaps they doubted you, thinking you'd missed your chance or taken too long. But what they didn't understand is that God's timing is never rushed, and it's never late. Isaiah 60 verse 22 declares, "I the Lord will hasten it in his time." When God's timing aligns with your path, what once seemed impossible suddenly becomes inevitable. What felt delayed now feels perfectly on time. The beauty of divine timing is that it's not limited by human expectations. Society might tell you there's a certain timeline for success, for achieving goals, for stepping into your purpose. But God operates outside of those limitations. Just as Sarah bore Isaac in her old age, defying all human logic, your blessings will come at the exact time they're meant to, regardless of what others may think or say. Divine timing breaks the rules of the natural world because it's governed by the supernatural. If you've ever experienced a moment when everything suddenly fell into place, when the right people appeared, the right opportunities unfolded, and the path became clear, then you've witnessed divine timing at work. Comment aligned below if this resonates with you. Let it be a declaration of your trust in God's perfect plan and a reminder that your waiting was never in vain. Divine timing also teaches us to release control. It's a lesson in surrender, in trusting that God's plan is better than anything we could orchestrate on our own. It requires faith to let go of your timeline and embrace His. But that surrender brings peace. When you trust in divine timing, you stop striving and start resting. You stop worrying about what's next and start embracing what's now. This season of alignment is not just about receiving blessings. It's about stepping into your purpose with confidence and clarity. The delays you faced were not punishments. They were preparations. Now, as you walk through the doors opening before you, you can do so with the assurance that you are exactly where you're meant to be. Every moment of waiting, every detour, every setback was leading you to this point. For signs down, and it's clear, your journey has been anything but ordinary. But the final sign is the most significant. It's the one that reveals how your leadership is not just a role, but a legacy. Stay with me, because this is where everything comes together. The final sign is that leadership through service defines you. This is not leadership as the world defines it, driven by power, control, or self-interest. Your calling is different. It is a leadership born of humility, shaped by empathy, and sustained by a deep commitment to lifting others. You weren't chosen to dominate or rule over others, but to inspire, guide, and transform through love and service. True leadership for a chosen one is not a title or position. It's a legacy of impact created through acts of kindness, wisdom, and unwavering faith. If this resonates with you, comment servant leader. Matthew 23 verse 11 reminds us, "But he that is greatest among you shall be your servant." This teaching from Jesus flips the world's concept of leadership on its head. Greatness is not found in elevating yourself, but in lowering yourself to meet the needs of others. It's about using your gifts not for personal gain, but for the greater good. As a chosen one, you've felt this calling deeply. It's not enough for you to succeed on your own. You feel compelled to bring others along with you, to shine your light so that they can find their own path. Your journey has prepared you for this role. Every trial, Every lesson, every moment of growth has equipped you to lead in a way that is authentic and impactful. Leadership through service doesn't come from a place of superiority, but from a place of understanding. Because you've faced struggles and overcome them, you can empathize with others who are still in the midst of their battles. Your scars have become your credentials, proof that you understand what it means to struggle, to fall, and to rise again. This is why your leadership resonates so deeply with those around you. It's rooted in real experience and genuine care. Think about the moments when you've stepped into this role, even without realizing it. Maybe it was a time when someone came to you for advice, drawn by your wisdom and calm presence. Or perhaps it was a moment when you offered encouragement to someone who was ready to give up, reminding them of their worth and potential. These are not small acts. They are the foundation of transformational leadership. Your ability to see the best in others and to call it out is a gift that can change lives. This kind of leadership is not always easy. It requires selflessness, patience, and a willingness to put others' needs before your own. It can be draining at times, especially when you're giving from a place of scarcity or exhaustion. But as you align with your purpose, you'll find that your strength comes not from yourself but from God. Isaiah 40 verse 29 promises, "He giveth power to the faint, and to them that have no might he increaseth strength." When you lead through service, you tap into a source of strength that is greater than your own, enabling you to keep going even when the journey is tough. Leadership through service also requires vulnerability. To truly connect with others, you must be willing to share your own struggles and imperfections. It's not about presenting yourself as someone who has it all together. It's about showing that you've been through the fire and come out stronger. This authenticity is what makes your leadership so powerful. It allows others to see that they, too, can overcome their challenges and step into their own purpose. Your leadership extends beyond words. It's not just what you say, but how you live that inspires others. Your actions, your integrity, and your consistency speak volumes. People watch how you handle adversity, how you treat those who can do nothing for you, and how you navigate success without losing your humility. These moments of quiet leadership have a ripple effect, influencing others in ways you may never fully see. The impact of your leadership is not limited to the present. As you guide and uplift others, you are creating a legacy that will outlive you. The people you inspire today will go on to inspire others, creating a chain reaction of growth and transformation. This is the true power of leadership through service. It multiplies. Your light doesn't just illuminate your path. It becomes a beacon for others, showing them what is possible when they align with their own purpose. You are not just changing lives, you are shaping the future. Consider the example of Jesus, the ultimate servant leader. He washed the feet of his disciples, fed the hungry, healed the sick, and gave his life so that others could find hope and redemption. His leadership was not about commanding authority, but about demonstrating love and compassion in action. As his follower, you are called to lead in the same way, not by elevating yourself, but by elevating others. Philippians 2 verses 3 to 4 reminds us, "Let nothing be done through strife or vainglory, but in lowliness of mind let each esteem other better than themselves. Look not every man on his own things, but every man also on the things of others." If this resonates with you, comment servant leader below. Let it be a declaration of your commitment to leading with humility, empathy, and purpose. You were chosen not just to succeed, but to inspire others to rise with you. They may not understand your journey, but they cannot deny your impact. Your leadership is not about power, it's about purpose. As you step fully into this role, remember that your influence is a reflection of God's light working through you. You are not just leading, you are serving as an instrument of His love, bringing hope, healing, and transformation to a world that desperately needs it. This is your legacy, chosen one, and it's just the beginning. But here's the question. Are you ready to embrace this role fully? Are you ready to step into your legacy as a leader who serves? Stay tuned, because the next step is discovering how to sustain this momentum and leave a lasting impact. You've seen the 5 signs that confirm you're not just chosen. You're one in a million, called to bring justice, change, and light to the world. The challenges you faced were never meant to stop you. They were preparing you. Comment 77, And don't forget to like, subscribe, and share this message with someone who needs it today. Activate notifications so you never miss another prophetic word for the chosen ones. Chosen one, your time is now. Step boldly into your purpose and let your light shine.